This is the Gerry Callahan Show.
Well, we should start with congratulations. Well-earned, much-deserved congratulations. I just want to congratulate all the big victors from last night. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm going to show some grace, show some class, and congratulate the winners. So I will just say, good for you, ISIS, Hamas. Congratulations to Hamas. Congratulations to TDA, Tren de Aragua. I haven't heard from them lately, but they are free to roam wild in the city, in New York City. Congratulations to MS-13. Congratulations to all the prisoners on Rikers who may be freed any day now. Congratulations to the druggies, the drug dealers in New York City. You got a mayor who wants to legalize your noble work, and the sex workers too. He's going to legalize that. Excuse me. It's been a long night. Been a tough night. It was a really sad, disappointing, demoralizing day in America. And I'm not just saying that because my guys lost. We knew they were going to lose. We knew New York was going to go communist. We knew the governors in New Jersey and Virginia were going to win. The Democrats were going to win. We knew that going in. New Jersey's a blue state. Virginia is a blue state, and had a lot of angry federal workers who had nothing to do but go vote and campaign for their girl, Abigail Spanberger. So it was an uphill climb. The polls were wrong. It was a blowout. It was sad, but it's not just sad for Republicans. It's sad for the country. It is striking, stunning how stupid, how gullible people are. How about this number? In New York last night, 81% of female voters between 18 and 30 voted for a man who wants to open the prisons, for a man who wants to send social workers on 911 domestic violence calls, for a man who doesn't believe that there's a problem with violent crime in New York City, for a man who will refuse to cooperate with the federal government and will do everything he can to protect illegal alien criminals, hardened criminals, murderers, rapists. 81% of young females voted for a Muslim Marxist. He built a coalition. I'll give him his credit, give him credit. A really strong coalition of Marxists, jihadists, and brain-dead morons who somehow believed him when he said he was going to make life more affordable. Yes, he was going to open government-run grocery stores, and he was going to tax the white neighborhoods more than the black neighborhoods, and he was going to get rid of cash bail or extend no cash bail, that he was not going to enforce crimes, misdemeanors, that he was going to make the buses free. That's going to be wonderful. A free bus ride full of homeless vagrants and drug addicts and criminals. The young women of New York City want this. They love this. They are celebrating today that this man will be mayor on January 1st, and he will get to hire 300,000 people. He will control the NYPD. It is a scary day, a dark day in America. Let's not sugarcoat it. 24 years after 9/11, when we said we wouldn't forget, we forgot. They voted for a man who thinks the real victims of 9/11 were the Muslims who were getting dirty looks on the subway. Yeah, including his made-up aunt. Yes, a guy made up his aunt. But here's what you have to understand today. And I've been saying it, God knows, for months now. It was all an act. It was an act. What you saw from Zohran Mamdani, the 34-year-old communist, for the last 6 months was just an act. He fooled you. You are morons. He campaigned in gay bars. He said he was going to invest $65 million in sex change surgery for children. He said he would protect the LGBT community, and you fell for that. He was smiling. He was friendly. He was likable. That's not who is going to be mayor of New York City. That was an act. He was just pretending. You are not going to feel comfortable, safe in New York City with a jihadist as mayor. Last night he came out and gave his victory speech. We're going to get to all of it. We're going to get to the Virginia race where Democrats voted a guy who wants to murder his opponents. Yeah, we're going to get to that. And the California referendum, yes, Democrats voted to make their democratic state more democratic. That was a shock, to save democracy. We'll get to that. But we have to focus on Mamdani because this is crossing the Rubicon. This is a scary time. This is an election not decided by Americans. This was an election decided by foreigners. Many of them probably illegal aliens voting. Would you put it past them? I mean, they came together to take over our biggest and most important city. And again, it wasn't real. He's not going to do the things he promised to do. He's not going to lower costs. He's not going to make life more affordable. If you believe that, man, I feel bad for you when the Nigerian prince calls and with a great investment opportunity. Because, man, you have to be completely you have to be vapid to believe Zohran Mamdani is going to do the things he said he's going to do. He's going to freeze your rent and life will become affordable. It'll be livable in New York City again. He's going to destroy New York City. It's going to descend into chaos and crime and real tension between the warring tribes. That's what we are looking at when we look ahead at New York City for the next few years. But he took to the stage. He was a little late, made a victory speech. The crowd went wild. Every one of them is going to have a job in City Hall, making $200,000. Every one of these misfits and mutants that surrounded him last night, they're going to be your city government. You think they're going to be really working for the taxpayers and trying to make life more affordable and safer in New York City? Please, just stop. We'll get to the whole breakdown. By the way, people with college degrees, bachelor's degrees, or graduate degrees went from Mamdani 57 to 37. He won by 20 points. He lost working class people. They're smarter than these eggheads, these idiots that went to Columbia. They know what they're in for because they work for a living. The people who put them in Gracie Mansion don't work. They don't work for a living. These aren't people who want. These aren't even people that believe in capitalism. The mayor of New York City doesn't believe in capitalism. He doesn't believe in billionaires, unless, of course, it's his billionaire, like Alex Soros. There he is, champion of the working class, smiling and posing with Alex Soros, a billionaire whose life's mission is to destroy the country. He just got his guy installed in City Hall in New York City. Again, congratulations to Alex Soros. Big win for the evil billionaire who wants to ruin our country. But you didn't have to be a genius. Hell, all the people without high school degrees voted for Cuomo over Mamdani. People with high school degrees who work for a living voted for Cuomo by 10 points. Again, people with college degrees voted for Mamdani by 20 points. These people are dangerous. These people are foolish. They are the ones who we can blame in 6 months or a year when New York City goes to crap. But let's get to Mamdani last night, his speech. You tell me if this sounds like a guy who wants to make life better for every New Yorker. Does it sound like the smiling, likable 34-year-old who was on the campaign trail shaking hands with everybody, dancing with old ladies, going to the gay bars, reaching out to all the communities? The mask came off last night. The mask came off as we knew it would. He was angry. He was vindictive. He was lashing out at Trump and others. And he was talking about making the city better for immigrants, like him, immigrants. Oh, because they built the city. Sure they did. Was New York City built by Ugandan immigrants, by Senegalese taxi drivers? No, but that's who that's who he acknowledged. He reached out to last night. Check this out. This is, I guess, this is the guy everyone voted for. The guy on the campaign, that wasn't real. That was pretend. He fooled you. We knew he was pretending. We knew a devout Muslim who made appearances with an imam who was a co-conspirator in the 93 World Trade Center bombing. We knew that guy wasn't really feeling the vibe in the gay bar. That was just an act. He appeared with the woman in Uganda who was responsible for putting gay people in prison for being gay. He appeared with her, and then he came back to New York and told the gay community, the drag queens, that he was their guy, and they fell for it. You people are just sad. It is sad that people bought this, voted for this, want this for our biggest city. Here he is after his big victory.
Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties. To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point.
Senegalese what? Line cooks. First of all, the real core of his constituency is people from everywhere around the world who don't work, who aren't line cooks, who aren't. But you think bodega owners are looking forward to government-run grocery store next to them, competing with them? You think the line cooks are looking forward to people who go to restaurants fleeing the city? As we told you yesterday, a poll has more than 1 million New Yorkers vowing to leave the city if he wins. He won. They're going to leave. There's no reason not to leave. They are right now packing their bags, looking at real estate in Florida, in Tennessee, in Texas. That's going to be the result of this. And the people in that room, the people that went to the polls, let me see if I get his numbers. More than 1 million, 1,036,051 New Yorkers voted for a Muslim Marxist.
All the Republicans leaving New York, you are more than welcome to come to New Hampshire. We probably could use you.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes they come. I mean, you see what happens when they come from Massachusetts. They bring their politics with them. Do not do that. If I were Florida, obviously you want the money, and these are people with money. But when they move to red states, they try to turn them blue in many cases. It happened in New Hampshire. It certainly happened in Maine. It's scary. But I'll tell you the scariest thing we heard from the new mayor of New York City. You grow up in this country. If you went to school 20, 30, 40 years ago, you learned that government doesn't solve all the problems. You learned that this is a capitalist country. Markets are what makes this country work. Free markets. Capitalism is a good thing. He doesn't believe in capitalism. He says capitalism is theft, not taxation. Capitalism is theft. And he's the mayor of our economic engine, a guy who is honest about this. He does not believe in capitalism. And he thinks government is here to solve all the problems. It's remarkable. Again, I'll give him credit. He's being honest, at least in this point, because he won. But here he is telling you government is here to fix it. This, to me, was the most frightening thing he said last night. Go ahead.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
No problem too large for government to solve. That's just flat out anti-American. And they want that. Oh, God, that is scary. It is. Yes, this was scary. The Democrat Party embraced communism, jihadism, violence, political violence last night. They embraced anti-Americanism. That's where we are with the Democrat Party. I'm going to go through my winners and losers. I just made a list last night. Winners and losers, Ironhead, from last night. I'm not just talking about New York City. I'm talking about Virginia, where they elected a guy who wants to put a bullet in the head of his opponent and his children and piss on his grave. They didn't just elect him. They made him the top law enforcement official in the state. So here's my list from last night. Winners and losers. And again, it was a terrible night for Republicans. I understand these are blue places, blue cities, blue states, but they won big. You know who the number one loser is? Pollsters. These pollsters were wrong about everything. In New Jersey, we were told nip and tuck could go either way. Mikey Sherrill beat Jack Ciattarelli 56-43. That's 13 points. In Virginia, we were told it was close, where Barack Obama went in the final moments to campaign against the black woman and for the white lady. You know, 1 year after Barack Obama went to Pennsylvania and shamed black voters, said you have to vote for the black woman because you're black. A year later, he hit the campaign trail telling people in Virginia, you can't vote for the black lady. You must vote for the white woman. And they did. Abigail Spanberger, 57. Winsome Steers, 42. That is a rout. The pollsters were way off. So just keep that in mind next time, next election. Here's my more winners. Richard Cox. You know who Richard Cox is, Ironhead? Do you remember Richard Cox? Richard Cox is a pervert. He's a 58-year-old sex offender who was caught showering in a high school girls' locker room and, according to witnesses, pleasuring himself. You know what the authorities said? We can't charge him. He says he's a woman. His actual name is Richard Cox. I sent you a picture of him. If you don't remember, he's a freak, and he's done this many times. He's a registered sex offender, and Abigail Spanberger could not say that man you're looking at doesn't belong in a girl's locker room. She is all in on the trans madness. We thought we were done with that. We are not. The new governor of Virginia, which is ground zero for this fight, is all in on letting this freak go into women's locker rooms. More winners. Graham Plattner. Remember Graham Plattner? He's the Democrat Antifa super soldier and communist. He's called himself a communist in Maine, who had a Nazi tattoo. Well, that's no longer disqualifying for the Democrat Party. It is acceptable for Democrats to have an attorney general who wants to murder his opponents and his children, to have a mayor who doesn't believe in capitalism, a mayor who doesn't believe in private property, a mayor who says he's going to seize the means of production. That's okay now with Democrats. And the guy in Maine is going to win. He's going to ride this wave. He's going to win. He has a Nazi tattoo. He trained Antifa on firearms, and he calls himself an Antifa super soldier. That's your next Democrat, your next senator from Maine. More winners. That imam, don't forget the imam he visited, an unindicted co-conspirator. Imagine how happy he is. How about this? How about the Palestinians? They celebrated 9/11. They celebrated, obviously, October 7th, and they celebrated again last night. Hamas is thrilled. ISIS, big winner, ISIS. ISIS literally congratulated the new mayor of New York. Here it is, a post by ISIS, a terrorist organization that's killed Americans. They are really happy. Is this in English? Let me see. This post. All praise is due to Allah. That's their lead. So they're praising Allah because their man is now mayor of New York City. And Ilhan Omar, another big winner, she posted congratulations in Arabic, not in Arabic, in whatever. She posted praise be to Allah when she saw her guy had won last night. So good congratulations to Ilhan Omar. Federal workers got their revenge. This was what happened last night. If you want to understand Virginia, I never thought we had a chance in Virginia, but there are thousands of laid off, furloughed federal workers who are mad that their worthless job was eliminated by DOGE, or that Democrats shut down the government, and they had a lot of free time, and they went and they voted hard, man. They went there with a vengeance. 1/4 of voters in Virginia come from a family with a government worker. Those government workers voted something like 30 points for Spanberger. So congratulations to them. How about Florida realtors? They're the big winners. Florida, Nashville realtors, big winners. I will say this, if you want a bright side, if you want to be optimistic, the GOP in 2026, they have a face, a person that they're going to run against. Zohran Mamdani is now the face of the Democrat Party. Like it or not, I mean, I'm sure on MSNBC and CNN, they'll say, oh, he's just a mayor of one city. No, he is now the face of the Democrat Party. This is their guy. And you're going to hear his name a lot. You're going to hear his story a lot in the next year leading up to the midterm. So at least there's that. I think this helps Elise Stefanik, Republican, who's running for governor of New York, because the Zohran Mamdani experiment is not going to work. It is not going to be, this is not going to be good. This is going to get real bad, and it's going to give something that Republicans can run against. Here are my losers. Ironhead, my losers. Those girls, those women, 18 to 30 in New York, they're the losers. If they ride the subway, if they ride the bus, if they want to own a home in New York, they're not going to be happy with their choice. They're going to have real buyer's remorse. Cops in New York City. We just elected a governor, a mayor who hates you, who wanted to defund you, who said you were racist and anti-queer. Oh, he went on the campaign trail and said, no, he didn't mean that. He said hundreds of times that the NYPD are the bad guys and they should be defunded. So good luck with that relationship. The big losers, New York realtors. Who the hell is going to move to New York? Who's going to invest in New York? Who's going to buy a 4-family home and fix it up when he freezes the rent? Landlords, big loss for New York landlords. He's coming for you. He hates you. The race hustle. The race hustle took a big hit yesterday when you had all the race hustlers led by the leader, the all-time race hustler, Barack Obama, who went again to Virginia and said, don't vote for the black lady. You got to vote for the white lady. That was Obama's message, and it worked. He got the white lady elected and by a landslide, and so he should be happy. But I'm not sure it's going to work next time. You know, when he campaigns for the black woman or the white woman, it doesn't matter. Ideology trumps all. And here's the lesson, above everything else, the lesson. Democrats will do anything to win. Anything. They will support a communist. They will support a jihadist 24 years after 9/11. They will support a candidate who wants to kill his opponents. They will do whatever it takes to win. That should be the lesson Republicans learn. They're debating whether to blow up the filibuster. What? What do you think they would do? John Thune, Mike Johnson. What do you think Democrats would do? They will do whatever it takes. They will support anybody. They will support awful people, anti-American people. They will support communists, Marxists, violent people if it means they win, Trump loses. And they will say anything. They will tell you that Trump, the 10 months of Trump 2.0 has been a disaster for the country. What? Where? Show me. Tell me. What was the big disaster? Closing the border? Enforcing the law? Cleaning up the nation's capital? Ending wars? Oh, tariffs. Tariffs up. The economy's a disaster? Since when? Trump has had a really good 10 months, and yet they ran against it like he was Joe Biden, like he drove inflation to 9%, like he opened the border. They made it seem like he must be stopped. Stop from what? Be specific. Stop doing what? What specifically did Trump do in the last 10 months that energized your base? It didn't matter. It was, you know what yesterday was? Another no king's rally. No king's rally based on the lie that Trump's a king, a dictator, and they just kept pushing, and it worked. Do we have another one from Mamdani from last night? Again, the mask was off. He was angry. He was shouting. He was not reaching across the aisle. He was not talking about unity. He is coming for the people who oppose him, and he is going to be nasty. This is what the Muslim community, the communist community that supported him, this is what they want. They knew it was an act. They knew, the imam knew when Zohran went to the gay bar, he knew it was just an act. He knew he was just playing people, and it worked. Here's more from your next mayor of our biggest and most important city last night.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
The biggest loser, I would say, is our unfettered immigration into this country. People like this being given citizenship. Here, you're an American. That was 7 years ago. And now he's going to do what he can to fulfill his promise to remake New York in the image of his people. That's what he said. Remake the state. He said New York in the image of his people. You think he was talking about all the folks in the gay bar in Brooklyn the other night? You think he was talking about 18 to 30-year-old women with college degrees, white women? No. He also referred to Eugene Debs, a failed socialist who ran for president many times and lost. Eugene Debs was the guy he was honoring last night in his speech. We're going to get to more of this. Even some Democrats are acknowledging that he was all an act. He fooled you. He pretended he was one thing. He's going to govern. He's going to run the city as something else entirely. We'll get to that. And we got so much more on this. We get some other really, really disappointing, demoralizing, discouraging results. Alvin Bragg won again. Yes. You think crime is a problem in New York now? Well, you just got that guy as your mayor and Alvin Bragg as your DA in New York City again. And then there's Letitia James. It is going to get worse, much worse. We'll get to that. Oh, and Tom Brady. I don't even know how to describe this. Tom Brady has lost his freaking mind. We'll tell you about that and more. But first.
Excuse me.
If there's something all of us can believe in, it's hard work, self-reliance, and showing up for the people who count on us. You know, kind of like President Trump, just going hard 24/7. The difference is Donald Trump doesn't need sleep. You do. I do. It's the most important thing to good health. I was in a horrible cycle that had no end in sight. I knew I had to find something to break me free of that cycle. That's when I found Beam's Dream Powder. Beam is proudly founded in America and run by people who share our values, hard work, integrity, and delivering results. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-based ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients: reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, and melatonin. Here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. Try their best-selling green powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Gerry, G-E-R-R-Y, you can get the best-selling dream powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Gerry. Use code word Gerry at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Gerry. Use code word Gerry for up to 40% off. You know what I'm going to miss? I'm going to miss those man-on-the-street interviews, particularly in New York, where people like, these independent journalists like Nick Shirley and Cam Higby went on the streets and asked people, why are you voting for Zohran? And I watched hundreds of them. Not one of them, not one could explain, could make sense of it. They just like him because he's young and he smiles. And he said he was going to freeze my rent and the bus would be free. They don't even consider the consequences. They think it's real. Well, some people saw through it. Here is Van Jones, hard left liberal race hustler. We know Van Jones on CNN last night after the angry, divisive victory speech from his guy, Zohran Mamdani. Go ahead.
So that speech appealed to some, but I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think his tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight. And there was some other voice on stage. That said, he's very young and he just pulled off something that's very, very difficult. And I wouldn't write him off, but I think he missed an opportunity to open himself up tonight. And I think that will probably cost him going forward.
It's not, he didn't miss an opportunity, Van. You're right. He did change. It is a different guy. He won. That's the difference. He can't be stopped now. He knows you're not going to see him in a gay bar tonight. You're not going to see him making an appearance with drag queens. That's over. He did that. It worked. You know what else worked? The government shutdown. You thought it was kind of bizarre and hypocritical. We heard from Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Liz Warren, Nancy Pelosi saying that government shutdowns are wrong. You can't shut the government down. It's cruel. Kids are going to starve. That's what Ayanna Pressley told us. Well, we now know why they shut down the government. We suspected it. They shut down the government for this day. They knew it would energize and mobilize the voters who were angry about the shutdown. And we know those voters are stupid and don't care that Democrats did it. They just know the government shut down, so it must be Trump. Everything's Trump. It's all Trump's fault. So they went and they waited in line and they did what they could to elect this woman. This is your new governor of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger. Yes, this is a woman who wouldn't condemn the attorney general candidate who wants to kill his opponent, who wouldn't condemn Richard Cox and other perverts who want to shower in girls' locker rooms and go into girls' bathrooms. She's okay with that. They voted for her because they were told Trump shut down the government. Trump and Doge eliminated waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. And some of them were laid off. Some of the useless federal bureaucrats, well, they still get to vote, and they did. Here's your review for the last year for Democrats. Here's what led up to this point. Of course, 1 year ago today, Donald Trump got elected. That's their worst nightmare. 1 year ago tonight, They lived through their worst nightmare. Donald Trump returned to the White House after all they did to stop him. They failed. He was elected again. And immediately they started running against him. Didn't matter what he did. I mean, hell, he made peace in the Middle East. He got the hostages home. They don't care. As Nancy Pelosi said, he's the worst creature on earth. And that's what these people, that's what they believe. That's what they bought into. They look at him and they can't stand it. And they went and their voices were heard last night. They said, he must be stopped. Well, we got, just in the last year, Charlie Kirk was murdered. Tesla dealerships were burned. Tesla cars were vandalized. ICE agents were attacked, were shot at in Texas, had Molotov cocktails thrown at them in California. That they tried to run them down with their cars in Chicago. There was a huge No Kings protest based on a lie that Trump's a king. And there was a government shutdown. These were all tactics. This is the strategy of Democrats now. Whatever it takes, violence, riots, fire bombings, running people over with your car, whatever it takes. And if it means they have to vote for a guy who said, I want to put a bullet in the head of my opponent and kill his children and piss on his grave, that's fine, because Trump's bad. They voted for a man, Jay Jones, to be attorney general in the state of Virginia, who is a psychopath, who was arrested for driving 117 miles an hour. And when he was ordered to do community service, he worked for his own political action committee. That guy is now attorney general because here's the bottom line. Nothing is disqualifying for Democrats. Nothing. Nothing matters except beating Trump, beating the evil orange man. Nothing matters. Just accept that. Understand where we are. There's going to be more political violence. You know why? Because it worked. It worked. Again, 2 months after the most high-profile political assassination in 50 years, they elected a guy who said he wants to put a bullet in the head of his opponent and was given a chance to walk it back and said no. He wants to kill his kids because they're little fascists. He's now the attorney general. Attorney general wants to kill his opponents, and it wasn't even close. Look at that. Among women in Virginia, they voted 55 to 43 for the guy who wants to kill kids. Women in Virginia want this man as their attorney general. You think he's going to enforce the law without fear or favor? You think he's going to prosecute people without any politics or partisanship? Sure he is. We have Jay Jones promising, unity after he got elected last night. There is nothing disqualifying for Democrats. Nothing. If you can beat a Republican, which means beat Trump, they're fine. Congratulations, Graham Plattner, the next senator from Maine. But here is Jay Jones, again, a murderous psychopath who wants to kill kids as he makes his victory speech last night in Virginia. Good.
We will use tonight as a springboard to reject the politics of divisiveness and division. And we will build a brighter future for every single Virginian. That is our mission. That is our charge. Thank you so much. I look forward to the future with every single one of you. I appreciate you. May God bless every single one of you in this Commonwealth.
Every single one of you. This is more important than governor, an attorney general enforcing the law who wants to kill Republicans. You think when there's death threats?
Their kids. You can't forget he wants their kids dead too.
Kill their kids and piss on their graves. I remember when Joe Biden plagiarizing a speech from Neil Kinnock. That was disqualifying. He couldn't. He had to withdraw from the race because he plagiarized. And he was a Democrat. This guy wants to kill kids. And it's not disqualifying. Here's a few more. Here are a text. If you don't remember, here are the texts. And the real jarring thing is that when the woman he's texting with gives him a chance, you don't mean that, Jay. Oh, yes, I do. You don't want to kill his kids. Yeah, because they're little fascists. That guy is going to be in charge of enforcing the law. Again, are you proud of that, Democrats? Are you proud that this is your guy? I'm curious. It wasn't even close. And women put him in office. It's not going to be safe. Here's another. I'm looking at all the breakdowns, all the demographics and the different groups. Gay voters in New York, gay New Yorkers. Again, he just appeared with the woman in Uganda who wants to put you in prison for life for being gay. You think all those imams he's appearing with, all those Muslim women, you think they all really respect LGBTQ rights? Well, they fell for it. Gay voters, 86% voted for the Muslim Marxist, 86%. And they're going to get it. They're going to get what they wanted, and they're going to get it good and hard. All right. What else we got from last night? It was just a wild night. And get ready. This is the strategy going forward. Everything's about Trump. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. Trump, tariffs, Trump enforcing the law. I heard the Mikey Sherrill, the new governor of New Jersey, saying they're going to make life safe in their state by protecting their neighbors from ICE. Okay, lady, follow up. Who are you protecting from ICE again? Your neighbor? Why is ICE coming after your neighbor? Oh, he just sexually molested children. He sold fentanyl. He's a member of TDA. We're going to protect him, and that will make us safer. It's just nonsense. It's nonsensical. This was just another No Kings rally. It didn't have to make sense. It didn't have to. It didn't have to be based in reality. It's based in hate and violence. But again, it worked. And we're going to see a lot more of it going forward. All right. We got to move. I got to get to Tom Brady, the weirdest, craziest story of the day. Hey, I talk to Brady every week for 19 years. I know he's a weirdo. That's been established. We know what he eats. We know how he lives. We know he's strange. It works. He's a great guy. A huge fan. But man, he's a weirdo. Here's the latest. I thought not eating strawberries was weird. This is an all-timer. Tom Brady, we used to talk to him about his dog. Lua, he had a dog, a pitty. Yes, a pit bull. She died a couple of years ago, December 2023. He announced yesterday that he has a new dog, and it looks just like his old dog. You know why? Because he cloned Lua. He cloned his old dog. Again, a pit bull. And now he has a new dog named Junie. Junie is a clone. By the way, I heard cloning, could be wrong, gives you the exact same looking dog. It doesn't have the exact same personality. So it's not the exact same dog. It just looks like your dog. But this costs like hundreds of thousands of dollars, not for him, because he's an investor in the company, Colossal Bioscience. A company he's an investor in, worked with him to clone Lua. The company is best known for cloning 3 dire wolf pups. I don't know if you remember that. That was a few months ago. These are a breed that's been extinct for like 1,000 years, and they created through 3 dire wolf pups. Not sure what that does for anybody. But you know who else cloned their dog? This is who clones dogs. Barbara Streisand and Paris Hilton. So now, Tom, you're in there with Paris Hilton and Barbara Streisand as Hollywood weirdos who cloned their dog. And I don't care what it costs. I don't care how weird it is. If you want a dog, Tom, there are millions of dogs out there waiting to be adopted. Millions in this country. You could go online. You go to a shelter and rescue a dog and give it a life, a great life. Instead, you chose to clone your dog. I once went to a MSPCA, a Humane Society shelter, when we were looking for a dog years ago. They had 40 dogs. I counted 38 pit bulls, 38 pit bulls out of 40. There's a lot of pit bulls who don't get adopted for obvious reasons. And there's a lot that are up for adoption because people get them, including young, gangbangers. That's what I was told, who get pit bulls and then realize they have to feed them and walk them and they give them back. If you wanted a pit bull, there are millions available. This just annoys me. I don't like purebreds, people that go to breeders. There are so many mutts available and they're better dogs. They will love you. They know you rescued them and they appreciate that. And they're good. They're great dogs. He could have adopted a rescue mutt. Instead, he cloned his Pitty. That is just strange. And I don't want to outlaw it. I don't want to ban it. But you know what? You should be shamed if you do something like this. You should be. You should be embarrassed to clone your dog. Why? It's not the same dog. It's a different dog. You could have gone to a shelter and got a different dog, and it would have been a lot cheaper, and you would have looked a lot less bizarre. But would you do that for your Pitty, Ironhead? You just lost your Pitty not long ago.
I don't know. The personality is the thing you mostly want to keep, not necessarily the look.
That's a good point. And you know what else? I've said this all the time. Pit bulls are just more work because they're stronger and they're vicious and they will kill your neighbor's kids if you're not careful. If you adopt a mutt or a lab or a beagle, you don't have to worry about that. But because pit bull owners view them as accessories, they view them just like they view tattoos.
Well, that's why adopting pit bulls is difficult, because you don't know their temperament and they are strong dogs. So they don't raise them right.
And there's no point in it other than trying to prove that you're a badass. I see people walking their pit bulls all the time when I'm walking or biking or whatever, and I say, are you sure you have a handle on that? Any minute now, that dog could snap and kill a kid. Why do you want that burden? Why do you want that worry? All right, I gotta get to Michelle Obama. I knew we talked about this the other day and we played her clip. She's making the rounds because she has a book out. I knew it was a book. I just figured it was just another, vanity project from this narcissist, this ingrate who still feels like, she is not treated fairly. She said she wasn't shown grace as first lady, unlike other first ladies, which is absurd. There's never been anyone who's been fawned over like this spoiled brat. Anyway, she has a book, and I didn't give it a thought. Just another book. No one's going to read it, whatever. It's amazing. It is, the level of narcissism is like nothing we've ever seen. She makes her husband look humble, and he is a raving narcissist. The book is called The Look. The Look. It is a book about her fashion. The Look is here's from MichelleObamaBooks.com. Beautifully illustrated with 200 photographs. The Look is a stunning journey through Michelle Obama's style evolution. In this celebration of style, from the moment she entered the public eye during her husband's campaign through her time as First Lady, Michelle Obama shares how she uses the beauty and intrigue of fashion to draw attention to her message, featuring her makeup artist, her hairstylist. There's 3 of those. She has 1 makeup artist, 3 hairstylists, and many designers who have dressed Obama. The Look bring readers behind the scenes to reveal how her most memorable looks came together. It's all about her look, about her beauty. And it's a picture book. Let me get the price on this, in case you were thinking of buying one. The Look, Michelle Obama. This is just incredible. Let me see. $32.50. It was price marked down 35%. It was listed at $50 initially. It's
But
$32.
There's a deluxe hardcover version for $173 if you want.
170. Just pictures of this woman in dresses and pictures of her getting her makeup and hair done. And she doesn't think she gets treated right. Here she is on the book tour. There's just a couple amazing clips. This is the most tone-deaf, lack of self-awareness, egomaniac we have ever seen on the public stage. Again, 3 times on the cover of Vogue. How many for Michelle? How many for Melania? 0. Do you ever remember anybody really going after her, criticizing her? I mean, she's been mocked, of late because she does these podcasts all about herself and how miserable her marriage is.
She looks like she could stuff Barack in a locker if she wanted to.
And she doesn't get enough credit for her beauty. Maybe there's a reason for that, Michelle, but let's hear it from her. What was she on? She was on whatever.
Colbert.
Colbert. She was on with Colbert. I'm sure it was a hard-hitting interview. I'm sure he asked all the tough questions, but listen to this narcissist.
I knew very quickly that I had to control every aspect of how I showed up in the world. It was a race to let the country learn me from me before they learned this other crazy woman that they were talking about, the angry, bitter Black woman that was a terrorist and a danger to her country and didn't love her country. And how I showed up in the world played a huge role in just reminding people that we're normal people. Yes, we're Black, but we bleed red and we love red, white, and blue.
Oh man, she is just repulsive. Anyone call her a terrorist? You ever remember? I mean, I paid pretty close attention to the news.
She's been called quite a few things. I don't think I've ever heard that one.
But that's recently when she's been called. She deserves to be mocked because she's on this tour. But here she is again talking about her beauty. Imagine Melania Trump going out there and saying, I had to overcome all the critics who were making fun of me and show them my beauty and grace and style. I think I'll make a $50 picture book about my beauty. Let's hear more from Michelle.
So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yes, you can be a Black woman, a tall 5'11" Black woman.
Hey.
Did you see the shoulder? You missed that. Did you see that?
Sure, I'm just
openly hitting on everyone, not Barack.
God, what was wrong with other Laura Bush or whatever? What was wrong with Nancy Reagan? Oh, they weren't beautiful like me. You had to show everyone that you could be beautiful and sexy. God, she's never going away, by the way. She's loving this. She is just has there ever been a person in the history of mankind who has lived a more entitled life than Michelle Obama? I heard Matt Walsh ask this question. I was trying to think of, I guess, princes and princesses and Prince Charles or King Charles or whatever his name is. I mean, I'd put her on that level. She's never had to work. She's never had to struggle. She got into an Ivy League school, even though she admitted she didn't have the grades, and she paid for nothing. She's never paid for anything. Now she has 4 mansions, oceanfront mansions, because, climate change, and flies around in private jets. And she never stops talking about her struggle. She is the victim. These 2 people, Barack and Michelle, they're responsible for this, not only for the racial problems, but for this mindset that you're always the victim, that you have the oppressed and the oppressor. That played out last night. The oppressed and the oppressor, oppressed and the oppressor. That's what happened in New York. People said, yeah, we're going to get those rich people, those oppressors. We're going to vote for the commie. And it's not going to work out, but they bought it. They listened to people like this, these grievance mongers. That's what it is. It's all the politics of race, division, and grievance. And it works for Democrats. Man, did it work last night. But we will see what happens going forward. It's not going to be till January 1 that Zohran and his whole crew of America-hating fanatics takes office. But again, there are 300,000 city employees in New York. He gets to hire hundreds of thousands of people, and every single one of them is going to hate you and hate this country. Every single one of them. It's going to get bad. It is going to get ugly, and we'll be here for it. But that will do it for today. 1 year ago, today was a great day. 1 year ago today, Trump prevailed, because of all the racists who wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. The same people that Obama said must vote for Abigail Spann, must vote against Winsome Sears. Those people, they didn't show up last year, but they showed up last night. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Gerry Callahan. This is The Callahan Show, and we will do it again tomorrow.
I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. And most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this.